Okay, so, in my 3D view, we're going to kind of leave our little mass building right now. You go in and keep playing with it. Just make sure you're going to turn something in when you upload it that has something applied to all of the walls and that you have floors on each level, just giving you kind of a chance to see what this looks like. It's a pretty cool little function for us to use. But let's go back and let's go to level 1 now. And we'll go over to the side over here. And I want to try something. I want to do another in-place mass. So let's do another in-place mass. Let's go over here to massing in sight and go in-place mass. And it's going to enable the show mass mode. And I'll say this mass one, I'm going to call it tensile structure. Now, what's untrue about this is not quite a structure yet, but it will be when we pick up in one of our next lessons. So I'm going to hit OK. And so the very first thing I want to do in here, I want to set up some reference planes at some distances, okay? So I'm going to click on reference plane, right? And I'll come over here and I'll draw this over to the side. I'm going to say, I'm going to make this, I don't know, I'll just draw it to here, right? Right, if I click it, right, I can go in here and I can say copy, right? So I'll go to the copy function. And I'll say, give me one that is 40 feet away, and then give me another one that is another 40 feet away. Okay. And then I'm going to draw another, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and I'm going to name this, just for grins, I'm going to name that one 1, I'm going to name this one 2, and I'm going to name this one 3. Now this is going to be a little different from the way we did it the other day, so bear with me. So now I'm going to go to reference plane again. Remember, these are reference planes, not reference lines. I'm going to draw that there, and then I'm going to say, let's see, can I offset? I'll say offset this, I don't know, if that's 80, let's make this 40 or 50. Let's make it 50 feet. And, oh, wait. I can't offset a reference plane. That's no fun. So what do I need to do? I need to click here and I say copy. I can't, it doesn't want me to offset it, but I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to type in 50 feet. Okay, so now what I can see is I need to drag these back a little. Okay, so I'm going to drag 3 back, and I'm going to drag this one back, and I'm going to drag this one back. And I know that's 50 feet between those two. So now what I'm going to do, right down the middle, you know what? I kind of want that to be 60 feet. Let's make that 60. And you'll see why in a little bit. So I kind of got to readjust these because guess what? I can't trim these. If I go TR, you see I can't trim a reference plane because it's a reference plane. It's not an object, right? That's why I couldn't offset it. I can copy it, but I can't offset or trim it. So now I've got this here. I'm going to add one more reference plane, and I'm going to go 25 feet in because I can't snap to the middle of that. See that? So I'm going to put one reference plane right down the middle, and I'm going to come over. I know it's 50 feet, so half is 25. Or no, I'm sorry, 60 feet, so half is 30. So I'll draw that from here to here. And now I don't have to name these. I could, but I don't need to name those two. I won't worry about it right now. I'll go in here and now I want to put a reference point. And reference points help you create constraints, which is really nice. Remember, we kind of adjusted the points on the masses the other day, but now we're going to place them. And this is going to be good practice for what we get into next week. So I'm going to hit point, and I'm going to put one of these points on level 1, notice, I'm going to put it here. I'll put one there. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one there. Then I'm going to place one here, and here, and here. And then I'm going to place one here, and here, and here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a window around that one. And I'm going to say, or you know what? I can draw that window, and I can say, move this one in. Let's say 10 feet, right? Or you know what, that's a little much. Let me go back and let's say, let's move it in 5 feet for now. We can adjust that later if we want, right? And, well, you know what? as I look at it now, maybe I do want to move that in almost 10 feet. So a little indecisive, but that's okay. You know what? Let me do 7 feet. I'll do 7 feet. That looks good. Yeah, 7's fine. So I'm going to move this one also in another 7 feet. All right. Now, while I've got those points there, you're like, Joel, what's going on here? You know, you've kind of got these things. I just see these dots sitting out there now. Well, don't worry about that. You can't see the reference planes. We've just got those reference points associated to the plane. So I'm going to go back to level 1. And I'm going to say on level 1, let's draw a spline through points. But when I do it, I don't want to do it with a line. I want to do it with a reference line, not a model line. I want to use a reference line. And I'm going to say spline through here, and through here, right? But that kind of didn't do what I wanted it to do. And here's why. In order to make that work, I need to hit reference line first and then spline through points. And now, see what's happening now? See how I've got that wavy gravy thing going? Look at this again. I want you to see this. It's important you understand this. If I go in here and say spline through points and then hit reference line, I'm just drawing a straight reference line, right? And I'm not getting that kind of spline thing. What I want is to say reference line, but I want it to be a spline through points. And I will see how I've got that dot now. And so I'm clicking here and here and here. And then to end this, I can just go over and hit the modify tab. And then I'm going to do it again. Reference, spline through points from here to here to here, and then modify. And then reference one more time, spline from here to here and here. And instead of going here, what I can also do is hit the escape, and now that should work just fine for me. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to click 1, 2, 3 and hit create form, right? And now when I go to a 3D view, notice I've got this form. But because I created those spline through points, what I can do now is click that point, and now I can raise that up, right? And let's say I want to raise that up. I raised it up that height, but I want to make it something exact. So I'll go over here and I'll click in here and I'll say, make that 25 feet, right? So now that's 25 feet. And then I go to the middle point, right? And I click on that. And because it's a reference point, now I can raise that one up a certain height, right? And then I can say it's 14, so make that, I don't know, I want to change their experience as they walk through here. So it goes from 25 in the front down to maybe 15 foot in the middle, right? And let's say this is an entrance to an exhibit. So now I want to really impress them. So I'm going to say, go here and go to this, oops, let's go to this point, right? And I am going to have them come way out now, right? Boom, right? And that's going to be 40 feet tall, right? Because I want to really impress them. So I brought them in at 25. I take them down to 15. And now I'm taking it out the back at 40. And so now I've got this interesting kind of shape going on here. But I'm not done there, right? What if I choose to come in here and say, let's lift this one up on the side and come up maybe, I don't know, at the middle, let's call it 12 feet, right? You're like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that. And then let's go to the other side of this, right? And I'm going to click on that one. And you can always move your building to the side or out of the way, your other mass. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. I'm going to dynamically pull it, and then I'm going to say make that 12 feet in the middle too, right? So this is getting kind of cool. And so now this is looking like this could be an interesting kind of fabric structure thing. So now I'm going to say, okay, I like that, how that's going. I'm going to finish the mass, right? So it's saying it only contains mesh geometry. So now I've got this out here. What can I do to this, right? can I go in here and click on that and say, okay, let's go to massing and site and say curtain system, right? And place our 5x5 curtain system on there, right? It's going to take a few seconds, but maybe it's going to generate something kind of interesting for us. Let's see what it gets. Oh, okay. So now, if I wanted to create this interesting little exhibit, you can see how what's nice about this is that with the curtain system, I can go in, I can click that, edit the mass in place, right? And I can start changing things. Well, maybe I want this point to go up a little further. Oops, I didn't want to move it out of skew. Sorry about that. I click it and I hover over the blue and I pull it up a little more. And I say, instead of, maybe I want that to be, I don't know, maybe I want to take that down to 12, like the sides, to kind of match that. See what that looks like. So I've kind of flattened out in the middle. So I've got this interesting kind of horn kind of shape thing. And then I could go and put columns under this, or I could do all kinds of things. But we also said maybe we were making it into kind of a tensile fabric structure. So we've got this one here. I'll go ahead and stop this video, kind of let you get caught up. And then I want you to come back and we're going to try, one of the last things we'll try and do today is turn it into more of a fabric cloth structure. That's what I want to show you, okay? So I'll go ahead and stop the video and we'll move on from there.